Welcome to the Killing Podcast, Season 3, Episode 7, Hope Kills.
Hope Kills. I like how you read that.
So maybe the murderer is someone named Hope.
Oh, they blew the ending by naming it Hope Kills. It'd be like a Stephen King book where, you know, in the last chapter, all of a sudden, they introduce a new character, and that's the killer!
Right.
He's done that before, so.
And how unusual that it would be a woman.
Named Hope.
Mm-hmm.
What if it's a guy named Hope, and he's so angry that he's named Hope that he goes on a killing spree? Could be.
Maybe his last name is Hope.
Yeah.
I think
maybe he's just so angry about Hope Floats with Sandra Bullock that he...
I like that movie.
that he's gone on a killing spree. I am not Hope Floats!
All right, let's get going.
Yes.
Let's talk about what actually happened.
Are you going to introduce yourself or anything else?
We're your hosts, Martha Southgate
and I'm Rob Southgate.
All right. Now can we start talking?
Yes.
Because we finally are with the pastor.
Yes. So we're with Pastor Michael, and we're in his office. So he got there finally. Okay. Because at the end of the last episode, he wasn't there. They're looking around, and Holder, remember, the last thing he's doing is staring at that wall of pictures. Well, that we're getting that creepy vibe that it's the pictures of the missing girls.
And is it my imagination, or are there only girls on that wall?
You know,
on that board in his office.
When we were watching it, I was thinking about that. Like, it looked like it was mainly girls, but I think there are some boys mixed in.
But maybe they just have long hair.
Well, doesn't he say something like they like the attention, they like to get their picture taken? It's mainly the girls that do that.
Yeah.
Because I think he even addresses that coming up here. So, okay. Holder is looking at these things. Pastor Michael, Father Michael, I wrote Father Michael, but I know he's a pastor, is talking, and he's talking about the Pied Piper. Yeah. And that's what they named this killer. And Holder looks absolutely disgusted with him, because he fully is convinced it's this guy. It's so suspicious. And it's got that creepy thing, like he's talking about it, and you feel like, okay, if you're the guy that's doing it, this is completely awful. If you're not, you look suspicious because of the way you're talking about it.
Yes.
So I wrote on here that the pics are all girls, but I'm not sure about that. He says that the girls like having that attention. And Holder asks him, what's the attraction?
Yeah, Holder says, what's the attraction of working with these kids?
Wait, no. He doesn't say it that way.
Oh, I made it
sound nice. No. He says, what's the attraction? And Pastor Michael kind of like starts, and he goes, to working with kids, I mean.
Yeah.
So it was a lot more than just what's the attraction of working with kids. It was, he was baiting him. He was trying to get him to slip up there. And I don't know. What do you think of this Pastor Michael? Do you think he's guilty?
Well, what he says is, no one cares about them. No one goes looking for them.
It's all very suspicious
throwaways,
talk.
Which makes you think, yeah, they're a perfect playground for you.
Well, Holder says that's what a killer thinks.
Yeah.
Easy prey.
He says that's what the killer thinks, too. He says that's what...
Yeah, the killer.
That's what the killer thinks.
Easy prey. He has no info on Angie. He's not helpful whatsoever about Angie, even though they know that she had gone there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this was weird.
What?
There's some... When they're talking, and it's kind of, you know... It pans out to the hallway, and I don't know who she is, but there's some girl in the hallway.
I thought it was a boy at first. I wrote a teenage boy, girl.
Yeah, I think it's a girl.
Was listening around the corner of the office, and was she crying?
Yeah, she looks like pained about something. So is this going to be like the crack that leads?
Is it going to be the one that outs him?
Right. Like, what's up with this?
Wow.
And who is she? I don't recognize her at all.
No.
So maybe that's Hope.
Oh,
maybe she kills Pastor Michael's alibi. Oh, ho, ho. Wordplay. I'm so good at it.
No.
No.
So Bullet and Lyric are snuggling.
Yes.
And Twitch comes in.
Yes.
And he's got money. And
he's not happy about this, but he kind of fronts like it's no big deal.
Yeah, he's fronting about how he got it.
Yeah.
And
Bullet says he was with a rich woman all day.
Bullet calls him on it.
Yeah.
And then that doesn't go well. So Lyric and Twitch have a fight.
And Twitch kicks him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she leaves with Bullet.
I mean, let's face it. He found the two of them snuggling up. He knows what's down here.
Right.
He kicks them out.
Right.
He's feeling like, wait a minute, this is not cool. He's lashing out here.
Yes.
I mean, let's keep in mind, this guy's a teenager. They're all teenagers. They're like, there's no reasoning here.
Well, and none of them, I mean, we could pretty much generalize that this population of people would not be very good at conflict resolution.
No, what do you think?
That they wouldn't have been raised to know how to handle anything other than to run away or to fight or whatever, you know. So they're doing what they've been taught to do.
Right.
From a young age.
Right. Which is, you don't like the conflict, you kick them out. And that's what he does.
And you react, and there's drama and whatever.
Right.
So Holder and Sarah are processing.
Right. They're at the station again.
And Holder's bitching about AA.
Right.
And he, bitter?
Oh, he's mad about AA. He's mad about religion. And he is completely convinced that Pastor Mike is a predator.
Mm-hmm.
And Sarah's trying to walk him off this ledge here because she knows he's not thinking clearly. And so whether Pastor Mike is guilty or not, Sarah's looking at this going, Holder's just driving it home.
Yes.
And you can tell that by her questioning him, it is irking him even further.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he starts lashing out at everything.
So okay. There's a first for everything.
Right.
The first for the entire Killing series, season 1 through now, Sarah is the first one to leave and say, we need sleep.
Right.
Okay.
What happened? Are we in Bizarro World? Has she suddenly decided, she's going to get sleep and she's not going to be the crazy one going after one suspect?
Holder, when Sarah is saying, okay, we're done. Like, we've really got to go to sleep. You know how bad that is? You know how far gone you are?
Right.
For Sarah to be the voice of reason?
I actually
and
wrote
self-care?
Finally, with exclamation points, because come
It is
on.
insane. And so she leaves. And she goes to that creepy house. She's on that creepy house.
It's her house, but it's
but it's so creepy, and it's out in the middle of nowhere, and it scares me.
Plus, it's like really foggy.
It just scares me.
It's kind of like that movie, The Fog, with Adrienne Barbeau. It was kind of making me think of that.
So the truck...
I love that movie. It was pirates. Spoiler.
I'm happy for you.
It was like zombie pirates. Spoiler.
Pirates.
Oh, it's so good.
So a truck follows her into the driveway. And it's Cody. It's her little boy toy.
Yeah, the boy toy.
And he wants to talk. Okay.
But this is all scary. Like, his brights are on and everything. I mean, this whole thing is frightening.
And
is he a suspect? Because I'm a little suspicious.
And she's too tired.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we get it. But Cody doesn't know what your schedule has been for the last 3 days, or whatever.
Right.
And she says to him, I was pretending to be something I'm not with you, and now it's over.
Yeah. So, see ya, Cody. Wouldn't want to be ya.
And then he grabs her.
Yes.
And she says, let go of me because you really don't want me to tell you for a third time how things are. That was the most fantastic line.
And you know what, Cody? You don't. Really don't.
You really don't. And how things are. I just love that. Yes. I'm going to use that in my life.
You're going to use that one? Okay.
You really don't want me to tell you how things are.
So when the cat jumps up on you and you say go away and he won't move, you're going to use...
Cowboy, you do
you
not...
do not want me to tell you.
For the third time, for me to tell you how things are.
Right. And if the people listening have heard how many times we've edited out Cowboy meowing at Martha... You know this situation is going to play out.
But I got him to lay down in his princess chair, and all is well with the world.
Snap, Cowboy! You've been busted out.
He's now chewing his toenails, and all is well with the world.
That's right, cat playa.
So Holder sees Bullet and Lyric.
Yes.
And Bullet's smiling, and he teases her. It's so cute because he knows that she...
Yeah. He really likes Bullet.
He does, and I love them so much.
And she likes him. Bugs. She likes Bugs. So, yeah. This is
it's very
this is nice
sweet.
to see this banter going on here. And it's night now. Which is interesting because usually this show is taking place, a lot of it is during the day, and then we get into night. We are in the night already at this point. And he's down where all those homeless kids hang out, and he's teasing her about Lyric.
Wait, do I get to say the one line?
Yes, go ahead.
So one of the teenagers says, I smell pork. And Holder says, that ain't a smell, wee one. That's salary and purpose.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, he is so fantastic.
Once again, excellent Holder lines.
And he says, oh, Bullet's got herself a little love bunny.
Right, when he's talking about Lyric. Yeah, because she's looking back at her and everything. He asks her about Pastor Mike, and she just flat out, not him. Not him.
Right.
He's the only guy in Seattle that's not a pedophile,
right.
is what she says.
Right.
So, okay, the way she reacts, is she hiding something for him?
No, she sounded emphatic.
Believes it's not him.
She's like, it's just not even in the realm of possibility.
But it is in the realm of possibility, right. At least from what we've seen.
But from someone who's been in there and who knows,
right? And she so desperately wants Callie found, that if there was even a thread here, I think she would tell it.
Yeah. Well, okay, but you didn't finish about, okay, so Bullet, he says Bullet's got herself a little love bunny.
Right.
And then he offers her dating advice.
Right.
And he says, at the end, he tells her to protect her.
Yes. To be safe and to protect Lyric. You know, essentially be the man that you're supposed to be. You know.
Why? Because women can't protect?
No, they can, but that
was so sexist.
I was saying it from Holder's viewpoint. He's viewing Bullet as the boy in that relationship.
How do you know? He's just viewing her as a strong girl who's a protector. He always says that, she's a protector. That's her personality.
Okay, but he's viewing her. I'm trying to use the archetypes, which is what he's doing.
No, he's not.
He is. He's telling her to be the protector, and the archetype is that it's the male's the protector. Do I think that's always the case? No. You go fight my battles for me.
Okay, I do it all the time.
I'm happy to let you.
You do.
I know.
When I have to fight Cowboy, you're more than happy to let me take that on.
That's right. So, yeah, I'm not wrong here.
You kind of. Are you done with this
I'm done.
All right, let's move on to Seward. We will agree to disagree about your archetype. We will agree to disagree. Seward harasses Francis about his marriage.
Yes.
And leaving the kid to die, Hill.
Yeah, well, he blames Francis for Hill's death. And he taunts Francis. This is crazy. I was so uncomfortable during this. He taunts him about his wife cheating on him. So what does Francis do? I mean, that, to me, I was watching that, I was very nervous. I was like, it's not
going to go well.
This isn't good. Francis gets back by describing death by hanging.
In every gory detail.
Oh my gosh, was this awful to hear. Imagine being Seward, who we know
needs to shut
He does.
up.
But we also know from the last episode that Seward is now scared to die by hanging.
Right, but you don't.
So it's just
antagonize
and that's
Francis.
He's done this consistently. He has a screw loose.
Yes.
Where, you start to feel sympathy for him, and then he, like in this case, why are you poking at Francis so hard?
Right.
Shut up, do your thing, pray that Sarah's going to get you out of this. But instead, I'm going to cause trouble with this guy. I'm going to antagonize him. Why? It's not going to do you any good.
Yeah.
But that's what this guy does. Good. Okay.
So Dale.
Yeah.
Dale gives him his little pep talk.
Yes. Dale is, we always say it's Nicholas Lee because we know him as, right. But he's Dale. And he's in the cell next to Seward. And now we're finally going to get a little bit more with him because in the past, we've said we're getting such a little amount of him, and there's no way that he's not an important character.
There's no way they're not going to use him as we go along here.
So he talks to him about how he exits this world and how it's up to him. And we're back to that. He's giving some, religious speak, basically. he's trying to get Seward to have faith and to find his strength there. And I don't know. Do you think it's falling on deaf ears, or do you think that Seward's actually taking any of that in?
I think sometimes for certain people it takes a while.
Okay. Especially a guy on death row.
Dale's trying.
Yeah.
So Callie's mom comes into Beacon screaming and frantic, and Pastor Mike calms her down, and they talk about Callie, and he...
Well, she insists that Callie is there.
Right.
It's more than that. I mean, she's
well, I like to just say that.
Yeah, she's insisting that Callie is there, and he's like, look, she's not here. And he calms her down.
But he tells her that Callie took cosmetology and hairstyling classes.
Right, just like her following after her. And they kind of talk about young Callie at that point.
Right, and Callie's a tough girl. She's a survivor. And,
right. And he says she's still out there.
So, okay, this scene scared the hell out of me. So she gets in her car.
Yeah.
And someone put a fake... Oh, I put fake. Takeout. I wrote fake. Someone put a takeout menu in her windshield wiper, and the back said in capital letters, "He's lying."
Oh, my gosh.
I freaked.
Yes.
I freaked. So Callie's in there? That was my first thought, was oh my gosh, Callie's in there.
He's lying. There is MSG in this.
No.
Oh, it wasn't that. Okay.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Is Callie up there in Beacon then? Hiding
scary
somewhere?
and freaky.
Is she shoved in some closet somewhere?
Yeah.
What do you mean he's lying?
Yeah. About what? It's awful.
I freaked.
Okay. So Francis and Henderson, is that his name?
Uh-huh.
Okay. They're in the locker room. And he tells him that his wife was at a bar with some guy. My guess, they haven't said anything, but do you think she was with Henderson?
Well, Francis tells Henderson that's why he was gone.
Right.
Because Hill killed himself because the guard wasn't...
But was Henderson there that night?
No. Francis was supposed to be there.
Right. Francis was supposed to be there.
And he wasn't there.
But who was the guard that was late? Because Henderson came in and said, my kid puked on me or whatever. That's why he was late.
But Francis wasn't there.
Right,
there was no coverage.
Right. Francis was supposed to be there. Henderson was late for
right.
his shift. So was Henderson the one that was out at the bar with Francis's wife?
Could be.
Is that why he was late?
I don't think so, though, but it could be. That's pretty far-fetched.
Okay.
But
hey, I'm nothing if not far-fetched.
I think what they're just trying to establish is the fact that his wife is that their marriage is falling apart.
Yeah.
And Francis
that she's sleeping around,
trying to save it, trying to salvage it. And he says, I'm a joke to my kid.
Yeah. Oh,
so
it's another bad situation. And once again, he's telling this story, but we've been suspicious of Francis in the past. Yeah, we know his wife. I mean, she was flirting with Henderson when he was over. So we know that there's truth to this, but why are the late nights? Why is he late all the time? Why was he late here? He's saying it's because of that, but it could be something else.
There's a lot shady with these two.
Yeah.
So Callie's mom gives Sarah the note from the car.
Right.
About the pastor.
Yeah, it was a menu from Pizzeria Farina.
So Sarah and Holder go to the pizzeria.
Yeah, Sarah's like, whoever wrote this wants to be found, obviously, by giving us that. So they go to the pizzeria. And the
girl is there, and it's the one from the Beacon. So it is, in fact, a girl.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I love this, too, because Holder does exactly what I would do. He orders a slice.
Right.
You know what? You're there. You're going to get a
hell's
slice.
Yeah. I mean, pizza.
Yeah, that's right. Hell's, yeah.
If I'm
been hanging out with Holder?
Yeah. So this girl...
Pour some out for your moms?
Right. This girl says that she had a bet at Beacon, and she went out to smoke at 4 a.m., and she saw in the alley the girl who got away from the killer.
Right.
And
right.
She
so
called...
imagine, she looks down there, she sees Angie had to be bleeding all over the place.
Well, hang on. It gets shady here. She calls Pastor Mike, and he said he was nearby in his car at 4 a.m. And when he pulled up, the victim started screaming and ran off.
Yes, and then he chases her.
And he chased her in his car, and he came back to Beacon an hour later. He was alone, and he had blood all over his shirt.
Oh, Okay. Circumstantial evidence?
Yes.
Absolutely.
But he lied.
Yes.
He's not telling the truth.
No, he's not telling the truth.
If he's not guilty, he's not saying, oh, then this is what happened. He's just omitting it, and now he looks really, really, really guilty.
So, in the first 2 seasons, the big theme seemed to be nobody ever talking about what was really going on, like hiding their emotions or whatever. Mm-hmm. This time, it is lying, because Callie's mom lied about Joe. Mm-hmm. Here we have Pastor Mike lying about having any interaction with Angie that night. I mean, it's just there's these untruths being uncovered very quickly.
Yes.
As opposed to bad communication skills.
Well, from the last season.
Right. Yeah. That's what I meant by that.
Yeah. So Lyric tells Bullet about the wonders of Section 8 housing.
Right. Sounds awesome.
I mean, for homeless girls.
It is awesome. Yes.
And Bullet tells her that she's beautiful and that she's in love with her.
Yes.
So they're having their little time here.
Yes.
And
I feel good for Bullet, because this is what she
happy.
wanted. And I have a feeling that the reason Bullet's out there on the street is because of this. Like, she didn't know how to deal with it with her family or something, and she ran away. Because I don't get the impression that she's like, for like Twitch, he's out there because he got involved in drugs and he fell into this scene. Bullet, I think it's something else. And I think it might be related to this. So the fact that she's found somebody, that she's happy, that's a big thing.
Definitely.
Okay.
So Holder and Sarah want permission from Skinner to go and vet the pastor. Right. They want to be able to...
No, they want more than that. They want a search warrant.
Well, yes.
And then they're going to vet the pastor. Right.
But they're denied the search warrant.
Of course. Because Skinner is not interested in these threads. He thinks they know what's going on. He wants them to bring Joe in. Mm-hmm. I mean, really, he knows Joe is the best suspect. You're pulling at threads here. We're not going to go through the rigmarole of getting a warrant for this, and cause more discomfort and disruption at this homeless shelter.
Right.
So, okay. I can buy that. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Bullet.
She tries to get Pastor Mike.
She's talking to Pastor Mike.
To let them stay, but there are no beds.
Yes.
And he says he'll try to find something for them. So she says, the cops think the girl Angie was here. She says, but I know she wasn't.
Yeah, she also says, Holder and Linden, she goes, those cops, they're on the wrong track thinking it's you.
Yeah.
And he's shocked.
Yeah.
Okay. Once again, it's one of two things. The way he reacted is either true shock because he is like, how am I a suspect?
Yes.
Or
he's freaking out that they're on to him.
He's freaking out like, I've been hiding this pretty well. What the hell?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Still, we don't have our answers.
No. So Seward has to get weighed so that the weight will be accurate for the hanging. Otherwise, it's going to go badly.
Yeah, if the counterweight isn't exact, if they don't have it right, and it's something crazy like 4-ounce difference or something. I mean, something that specific. Mm-hmm. His neck won't break when they drop him through the gallows. The gallows. And he'll end up choking. He'll end up like hanging there just choking to death. Good choice, Seward, to go with hanging. It's terrible. Whew. Okay, big frowny face on that too, by the way. Holder and Linden, they're in a car and they are scoping out Pastor Mike.
And Holder asks, Sarah talks to Holder about Jack. And she says he wants me to move to Chicago. And Holder asks her about Cody.
Yeah.
And Holder gets a phone call. And they find out this freaked the hell out of me.
Okay.
They found out that Mike Sheehan, who is Pastor Mike.
That's Pastor Mike.
Died 4 years ago.
4 years ago! This guy is lying.
Who is this guy?
Okay, so I just said he's freaking out about this. Okay, once again, is he freaking out because he did something, or is he freaking out because he's
found him out.
living this lie?
Exactly.
Why would he possibly be living this lie? What is up with this?
Yes.
But all those suspicious feelings now have bloomed.
Absolutely.
Holy cow. I have chills just talking about it again. Wow. Okay, so Seward, we're back in his cell, and Seward's there doing push-ups. And Francis is doing what Francis does. He is completely taunting the guy. And you can tell, at some point, Seward's just freaking out. You can tell this is like, it's actually getting through. And he just says he wants his lawyer.
Well, what Francis is talking to him about is his last meal.
Right.
He's got to decide on
but he's taunting him.
Of course he is, because he's a sadistic, bad man. But that's what he's taunting him about.
Right.
That's what they're talking about. So then he asks to see his lawyer, and he trashes his cell.
Yes. As a Seward is wont to do. That makes sense.
Because he lives in a sewer?
What?
I don't know. It made no sense.
That was a terrible joke.
It wasn't really a joke. Jokes are funny. That was just...
okay, true.
That was just
I can't say it was a terrible joke. That was a terrible statement.
It was more of a statement.
It was a terrible interlude.
It made no sense.
Yeah.
So Sarah and Holder follow the pastor to his house.
Yes, he's at his house.
He's driving a rental car, and they ask him where his car is.
Yeah, Holder's like looking in the car, and it is super clean, and that's when Sarah notices it's a rental. And Mike comes out, and he's like, "Hey, what are you guys doing here?" Like because he's on high alert too, because he knows they have him as a suspect. And they ask him about the rental, and he tells them his car is in the shop. And
okay, Bullet and Lyric are going to
wait.
stay.
No, Holder keeps pushing on him. He's doing to Mike what Sarah was doing to Angie,
yes.
Where she was like, this poor girl's been through hell, and Sarah's pushing on her. Well, he's pushing on Mike in a big way. And Sarah says, look, I'm afraid he's going to run. You can't do that. Because if he's the suspect, if he's really the guy, they don't want him running. They want to keep him around.
Well, so in the meantime, Bullet and Lyric are going to stay at his house.
At Pastor Mike's. I know, crazy.
And Lyric is there alone.
Oh, my gosh.
And creepy. I mean, creepy. Oh, my gosh. So we find out he was convicted of kidnapping a 16-year-old girl 6 years prior.
Oh, my gosh.
And Lyric is eating his ice cream, and he asks where they would have stayed if he didn't take them. And he commiserates with her, and Lyric knows she's screwed.
Yeah, something is up here.
Oh my gosh.
He's completely frightening. And Lyric does that move like, oh, the cops are coming. But she does, Bullet's on her way. She'll be here any second. It's like, yeah, okay. If this guy's a creep and he's doing what it looks like he's doing, what does he care? Any amount of time is enough for him to get away with whatever he's going to do.
Right.
Terrible.
So the raids turn up nothing. Lyric is gone too. So when they go through the house and tear it up, nothing. And Holder manhandles another cop.
Well, you know what? You just skipped right over the fact that...
I probably did.
Well, you did. Because we're talking about him talking with Lyric, and then what we didn't say is it cuts to Holder and Linden, and they break in with a SWAT team.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really kind of important.
I thought it was implied
when they
with
break
the raid.
in, the
raid.
That's when you realize they're gone.
They're gone.
And it had to be just a short time between when they were coming and when they left.
Yeah.
Holder, super upset.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is his guy. He thinks it's this guy.
Well, and not just that, Bullet. He's scared about Bullet.
Bullet, yeah, and Sarah's yelling at him to pull it together. Okay, the coin is flipped when Sarah's the one who's...
Sarah's sane.
Pulling it together.
Right.
Although, not really, because, I mean, we know he's a junkie and all that, too, so he doesn't exactly deal with things very well either. But he's usually the one calming her down.
Mm-hmm. He's much more level-headed.
Yes.
So Callie's mom and another mom are both looking for their girls. They're at the police station. Yeah, they're at the police station. And the one thinks that hers might be one of the girls who hasn't been ID'd yet. So she's there to go.
She's waiting to
She wants to go look at the pictures.
Yes.
So very interesting scene. It's really hitting home for Callie's mom.
Yeah, and Callie's mom doesn't have a picture to go look at.
No, and she doesn't want her to be one of, like, this mom almost would be relieved.
Right, she's at the point now where she just wants closure.
An answer.
Whereas Callie's mom doesn't want to be at that point. She wants Callie to be alive.
So Seward tells Dale that it's too late to change how he dies.
Seward was also in the fetal position at the beginning of this.
I would hope so. I would freak out. Dale says he needs salvation and that he has a choice as to how he goes, whether or not
it's what he was saying.
He might not have a choice in terms of
choose how you leave this world.
Right. He might not have a choice in terms of, that he can't choose a different form of death. He can't choose to not be hung, but he also can't but he can choose the man, his attitude about how
right. And at the same time we see them building the gallows. So this is great imagery.
And Francis is showing his son how they're going to kill him.
Gosh, and he's showing it off.
I wrote nice father-son moment.
Didn't Norman Rockwell paint this with the father and son standing on top of the gallows as they're being constructed? So all that Saturday Evening Post.
Sarah and Skinner discuss the case, and she still thinks there's a connection. He doesn't, of course. She wants to stop the execution, but no judge will allow it. And I wrote,
What?
I wrote on here, they have an awkward face rubbing.
I actually just wrote nuzzle, but awkward face rubbing is pretty funny.
Face rubbing. It was so uncomfortable, and it was so bizarre and awkward that I was uncomfortable watching it. So I couldn't call it anything but awkward face rubbing. They found the pastor's car.
Yes, and they're investigating it, and it's bloody. There's blood all over it.
And Holder's not happy that they had him and lost him.
Right. And now they're out searching for Pastor Mike. Now, once again, it's still not giving us a clear he's guilty.
No.
Because if for some reason Angie was in his car...
Mm-hmm. There'd be blood.
Yeah. And we don't know why she was bleeding, but was it from when she got injured or was it after?
Right.
So we're just not sure here. Okay, we're at that fast part here.
So
coming into the home stretch.
Bullet shows up to the pastor's house looking for Lyric, but they won't let her in.
Right, and she starts yelling, "My girlfriend's in there!"
And it's a crime scene.
Yeah.
And then what I wrote next is in caps, "Holy crap, someone's got a knife to Sarah's throat."
Yes.
So she gets in her car to leave the crime scene.
And knife to her throat, and all they say is, "Drive." And
we don't know who it is.
Wow.
We can assume, but we don't know who it is. Who do you think it is?
I actually posed a guess here. I think it's Pastor Mike.
Yes, I do too.
Here's the problem I'm having.
But it may not be, because there are lots of different suspects.
Right.
It could be Joe Mills.
It was out in front of his house.
Ish. It was up the street a ways.
Right. But here's where I'm having a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's Pastor Mike. I think we're getting all these signs pointing to him, but I don't think so. And I was really conflicted, and I wrote that on there. I wrote, "It's Pastor Mike. This makes no sense." I think it's him, but I don't know why he's doing it.
Well, what we do know is that we're missing Joe Mills.
Right.
And we're missing Pastor Mike.
What if...
So it could be either one.
Yes.
Or it could be somebody that we don't even know.
Have we ever seen the two of them in the same room? What if it's like Superman?
No.
And Pastor Mike is Joe Mills?
It's probably not at all like that.
No, it's not at all. Okay, can we end this one? This one had a lot. This one is dense, man. This one really...
We got it all.
Had a lot going on. Okay. You can find past episodes of this and all our other podcasts at our website, which is www.southgatemediagroup.com. Find us on Facebook. Look for The Killing Podcast there. Find us on Tumblr at The Killing Pod. You can also find Martha
At SMG Pods.
And I tweet from @rsouthgate. So follow us. We talk about all of our shows on those, other than the Killing Pod one. We obviously talk about this show. You can find us on Tumblr. Just look up Southgate Media Group. And we send out a lot of different rebloggings. I don't know what you call it on there. Tumbles about the killing there.
They call them tumbles?
I don't know. I just did.
Oh, wow.
That was my nickname in high school. I was Tumbles.
Mr. Tumbles.
When I was on the tumbling team.
Wow.
And
let's just take in that visual for a moment.
That would be the worst. I can't even imagine. What is up with that?
More like Mr. Bumbles.
Mr. Bumbles. Okay. You can find us on iTunes and find us on Stitcher and Podbean and Podomatic and Poddy Pod and Podadoo. Any place that they have podcasts. Just look for us. If we're not there, let us know. Send us an email at southgatemediagroup@gmail.com and we will find a way to get on that directory. Find us on Pinterest, too. Look for the board, The Killing Podcast. I stumbled through that. The Killing Podcast. That is it. For The Killing Podcast, I'm Rob Southgate.
I'm Martha Southgate.
Next time, hopefully we're going to find out who has a knife. I was going to say a sword. What? A knife.
A dagger.
To Sarah's throat. Dun, dun, dun. If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, southgatemediagroup.com, and click on the donate button. It can be as little as $1 or, well, as much as you want. Help keep this fun going by supporting this and our other shows. Thanks again for listening, everyone. You're the best fans in the world.
I'm freaking out and you're making fun of it.
Sure am.